Hello, welcome to the weekly highlights program on Azərbaycan Television with the major developments of the week. I am your host, İlham Məmmədov. Now first, let's take a brief look at some of the top stories of this week. President İlham Ali received credentials of the newly appointed Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary of the Islamic Republic of Iran to Azerbaijan, Seyyid Abbas Musavi. President İlham Aliyev attended the opening of an overhead pedestrian crossing on the Mardakan-Zugulba highway. President İlham Aliyev received credentials of the newly appointed Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary of the Islamic Republic of Iran to Azerbaijan, Seyyid Abbas Musavi.
Mr. President, I have the honor to present my letter of credentials to Your Excellency as a plenipotentiary and extraordinary ambassador of the Islamic Republic of Iran, and the letter of recall of my predecessor. Also allow me to present to you the warmest greetings of the President of the Islamic Republic of Iran, Dr. Hassan Rouhani. Thank you.
Welcoming Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary of the Islamic Republic of Iran, Seyyid Abbas Musavi, President İlham Aliyev first of all asked to convey his warmest greetings to President Hassan Rouhani. The head of state wished success to the ambassador in his activity, expressed confidence that he would contribute to the relations between the two countries and the ties would develop successfully. Recalling his meetings with President Hassan Rouhani over the recent years, President İlham Aliyev said the issues discussed and the decisions made during those meetings had brought our countries closer to each other. The head of state noted that the two countries always supported each other at the international organizations, demonstrated solidarity at the UN, Non-Aligned Movement, Organization of Islamic Cooperation, and ECHO. President İlham Aliyev said the Non-Aligned Movement and Organization of Islamic Cooperation adopted resolutions and issued statements regarding Armenia's another military aggression against Azerbaijan about 2 months ago, supported Azerbaijan's position and condemned Armenia's steps. Underlining that the Islamic Republic of Iran, as an active member of those organizations, shared that position and once again demonstrated its support for Azerbaijan, the head of state expressed his gratitude for this. President İlham Aliyev mentioned that Armenia's aggressions against Azerbaijan was going on. As a result of that aggression, approximately 20% of our territories had been occupied and Azerbaijani citizens had been displaced. Ethnic cleansing policy had been conducted against the Azerbaijanis. Khojalı genocide had been committed. Our historical, religious monuments and mosques had been destroyed by Armenia. The head of state said there were videos and photos showing that animals were kept at some mosques. President İlham Aliyev called it a crime against the entire Muslim world. Noting that Azerbaijan was contributing to strengthening the Islamic solidarity, President İlham Aliyev said Azerbaijan was ready to make extra efforts to solve the problems between some countries. The head of state added that as regards the foreign policy, our countries were also taking an active part in the trilateral cooperation formats, mentioned the format of Azerbaijan, Iran, Turkey, and Azerbaijan, Iran, Russia trilateral cooperation, and called it very productive. President İlham Aliyev said relations between neighboring countries and development of those relations were the guarantee of peace in the region. As regards the bilateral relations, President İlham Aliyev reiterated that the relations were developing rapidly and reached a high level. Recalling his phone talk with President Hassan Rouhani in late July, President of Azerbaijan said very important issues had been discussed and an agreement had been reached to make sure that members of governments hold video conferences during the pandemic, and a number of meetings had already been held. President İlham Aliyev expressed confidence that important transport and energy projects would become more large-scaled. The head of state said the North-South transport corridor could unite not only our countries, but also the entire Eurasia, noting that both Iran and Azerbaijan were making great efforts for the corridor to get into operation. President İlham Aliyev said there were good results in other spheres, including investments and power industry. The head of state expressed confidence that the cooperation would further develop and once again welcomed Ambassador to Azerbaijan. Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary of the Islamic Republic of Iran, Seyyid Abbas Musavi, thanked President İlham Aliyev for the welcome and extended President Hassan Rouhani's warmest greetings, as well as greetings of the cabinet members, especially Minister of Foreign Affairs. Ambassador said all officials of the Islamic Republic of Iran wish to further develop and strengthen the bilateral relations. Sayyid Abbas Musavi said thanks to the wisdom of President Ilham Ali and officials of the Islamic Republic of Iran, the relations between the two countries were developing day by day. The ambassador said relations with the Republic of Azerbaijan held an important place in the foreign policy of the Islamic Republic of Iran, added that his mission was to further strengthen relations between the two friendly brotherly and Muslim countries. I see no obstacle to enhancing the relations between the two countries, and with your support and with the support of the cabinet members, these ties will improve day by day, the ambassador said. Sayyid Abbas Musavi mentioned that the people and state of the Islamic Republic of Iran were looking forward to seeing President Ilham Ali in Iran in March, but unfortunately, because of the pandemic, the visit did not take place. Ambassador once again extended the invitation to the head of state. Ambassador Sayyid Abbas Musavi said the Islamic Republic of Iran supported Azerbaijan's just position in the issue of the occupied territories in Nagorno-Karabakh conflict, underlined they believe that the conflict must be solved within the framework of the international law within Azerbaijan's territorial integrity and sovereignty. The ambassador emphasized that the trilateral and four-party regional cooperation would be further continued. The two countries would continue supporting each other's positions at the regional and international organizations. Ambassador Sayyid Abbas Musavi expressed confidence that the relations would further develop during the video conference to be held soon with the participation of President Ilham Aliyev and President Hassan Rouhani. On September 7th, President Ilham Aliyev got acquainted with the major overhaul carried out in the secondary school number 251 in the Nizami district of the capital and took part in the opening of a new building of this educational institution. President Ilham Aliyev's acquaintance with the new building of school number 251 was not only remembered by the staff of this educational institution, but also by the residents living around. The school, operating since 1974, has a total of about 1,700 pupils. About half of them studied in the second shift. There was a high density of children. The new building will fix this problem. The new building is designed with a capacity of 840 pupils. There are chemical, physical, and biological laboratories here. Also, there are 35 classrooms, a library, a reading room, and utility rooms. The pupils of the school are distinguished with their success. They became winners of competitions in Romania and Turkey. The attitude of the residents of the building to the opening of this facility added a special festive mood to the event. A complete renovation of the infrastructure of yet another school once again emphasizes Azerbaijan's view of the future. The modern period has modern requirements. President Ilham Aliyev attended the opening of an overhead pedestrian crossing on the Mardakan-Zugulba highway this week.
During the construction of the overhead crossing, the presence of a nearby residential area, school, the use of this section of the road by pedestrians most often, and other factors were taken into account. The work done was carried out in accordance with the orders signed by President Ilham Aliyev within the framework of the state program for the social and economic development of Baku and its settlements. The pedestrian crossing is a product of the imagination of an Italian designer, and the structures are made by local specialists. The total length of the crossing is 180 meters. The The middle part of the transition from metal structures is in the form of a grid on 3 supports 52 meters long and 4.5 meters wide. In general, the crossing is assembled with 39 steel rings intersecting with each other at an angle of 57 degrees, inquiring about the quality and features of the construction. The President paid attention to the smallest details.
Belə keçid bizdə olmamışdı.
Olmamıştı. Birinci
Proyektdən başqa yerlərdə də istifadə edə bilərsiniz.
In order to ensure movement in the passage, ramps are installed taking into account international standards. The slope is 8 degrees.
That was all for the week. Thank you for watching us and see you next Sunday.